Hi guys, today's video is all about the newly released, the Bobbi Brown. They are called the Brightening Blushes. These have come out in 5 different shades. These are also limited edition. Now I have picked up all 5 shades. About 4 or 5 days ago, these were released in Australia as well in New Zealand. In New Zealand, I picked them up at Smith & Co's. They're on the Bobbi Brown site in Australia. Now, I've had a look at the Bobbi Brown site in the UK, and they're not there yet, but they have just been released at Selfridges, and they're not on the Bobbi Brown on the USA site either. But the USA site and the UK one, they both have a 25% off site-wide sale at the moment. So I am guessing that when that sale finishes, then these blushes will appear. So as I was saying, I picked up 5 of them. These have 6.6 grams of product and they are made in Japan. The box that these blushes come in is just the usual black and white Bobbi Brown packaging. The packaging itself is really lovely. It's probably going to reflect a bit with the lighting that I have in front of me. These have a magnetic closure. They feel really lovely in the hand. They feel like a luxury product. They have a generous sized mirror inside. This shade that I'm going to hold up first is Blushed Bronze. So I'm just going to show you, this is what each of the shades are like. So I've just turned down the light in front of me. Now I haven't swatched any of these yet. I've only done reels for Instagram and also a couple of shorts for YouTube as well. So what we'll do is we'll just take a look at the Bobbi Brown website, the one in Australia, and see what they say about these blushes. So the tagline for these blushes is sweep, swirl and glow. It says our 3-in-1 limited edition brightening blush gives skin a glowing flush with soft pearlescence and multi-dimensional colour. And they say they are to brighten cheeks and enhance skin tone for an instant lit from within look. And under the heading of why it's different, they say it's shimmering shades instantly brighten while pearlescent powders enhance skin with semi-transparent luminosity. And also they say that they are buildable shades are designed to be used together or on their own. And under the part where it says how to use them, it says for a natural looking flush, swirl all shades together and apply to the cheeks. For more definition, apply the deepest shade to cheeks and use the lighter shades as a glowing finish along cheekbones and high points of the face. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to swatch them on my arm first so you can take a look, and then I'm going to apply each of these blushes to both cheeks. And with each shade, on one cheek I will sweep all the colours together so you can get a look at it, and on the other cheek I'll do what they say on the website, apply the deepest colour and then use the other 2 as a highlight so you can get to see what they're like using them both ways. So I'm first going to start off with Blushed Burgundy. So that is swatching each individual shade, and then I've just swept through the 3 different shades, and that is what all 3 look like together. So I think individually they are beautiful, but all together you get this really beautiful, I can see what they mean, you're going to get a lit from within glow. I think the 3 together are really beautiful as well. Next I will swatch a Blushed Pink. So here are the individual shades, and here is all 3 mixed together. Next is Blushed Peach. So this is the 3 shades individually and all 3 swatched together. Next is Blush Coral. So with Blush Coral there are the 3 individual shades and all 3 swatched together. And the last one is Blushed Bronze. And again, the 3 individual shades and the 3 swatch together. So I'm going to put them on in the order that I swatched them. Everything else that I've got on my face today, nearly all of it is Bobbi Brown. I'm wearing a Bobbi Brown foundation, and the eyeshadow that I'm wearing today is the Bobbi Brown, the Longwear cream eyeshadow sticks, and I'm wearing 3 different shades. These are fabulous. I've done, I think, 2 other videos on these, and they just do not budge. They are just fabulous. I think they don't emphasize texture on my mature eyelids, and with my oily skin as well. They just do not budge. They just last throughout the day, and they are super easy to apply. The lipstick that I'm wearing is a Bobbi Brown one. It is in the shade Pink Buff, and then I've got a gloss over the top. But everything that I've put on today and the blushes that I'm going to put on, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. So let's start off with blushed burgundy. I think for this brush I'm going to use the brush that I normally use. I've got a few different ones, but we'll start off with this one and see what that's like. This is the F03. So on my left cheek, I'm going to sweep all the shades together, and then on my right cheek, I'll do what they say on the website and start off with this one and then use these 2 as a highlight. So the left cheek first, going to sweep between the 3, and that's how much pigment it picks up. So this is quite a fluffy brush. This is quite a deep shade, so there is quite a bit of pigment. These blend really, really beautifully, and the 3 together I think are really, really gorgeous. And you do get that lit from within look. So you get a sparkle. It's not over the top, it's quite subtle, and I think it looks really, really pretty. I'm not surprised. I think that Bobbi Brown blushes and highlighters are just really, really beautiful. So that blends out really, really beautifully. So I'm just going to wipe my brush down, and now I'm just going to go into the shade and put this one on first. So you get quite a bit of payoff just with one dip of the brush. I'm just going to go again. I'm only going very lightly. So they are buildable. If you tap into it quite lightly, then you can start building it up if you want to. And then I'm just going to take a Sonia G brush, and now I'm just going to go into these 2 shades here. These are more of the highlighting shades when they're used on their own. This is quite gold here. This is still a warm colour, but not as warm as this one here. So I'm going to start off with, I'll probably pick up some of this because they're so close together, but I'm going to start off with this shade here and just see what that looks like. So it gives a really beautiful highlight. It's very subtle. Now I'm just going to go into more of the gold on the side here and just go over the top. So this is the cheek with them all blended together and applied, and this is the one where they're applied separately. I think you get a more bold look straight away, sweeping them all together. It'll be interesting to see whether the other shades do that as well. As I was saying, this is quite a deep colour, and this is also quite a warm gold. So out of these 2, now that I've put them on different ways, for me, I probably prefer this side, although I do think the side looks really lovely as well. But if I was reaching for this shade, I would probably apply it individually for me. But in saying that, I do think both look really lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wipe this blush off, and then I'm going to apply the other 4 shades. I'm not going to talk while I'm doing that. I'm going to apply them all exactly the same. This cheek I will use all the 3 shades together, and then on this cheek there I'll use the deeper shade and then the 2 highlighting shades on top. And while I'm editing this, I'll put some music to it, and then I'll give my thoughts about the different shades and which ones that I prefer at the end.
Flows one direction, and fishes they follow the flow. But what if one tried to mention that there was much more to explore? Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. A dragonfly heard the message. Darkness was home for the star. It spread its wings to the surface. The bright colors set them apart. Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. Here I am, I have a plan, I'm living free, don't know where I'll land. Here I
So between each blush that I tried on, I removed it with a makeup remover wipe, and then I just put my foundation on and then also my powder before doing the blush. I thought these blushes were really easy to blend. I'm not quite sure which shade I like the most. The one that I finished off with, that is the one in Blushed Bronze. I think this is really beautiful. You would have seen me with one of the shades. It was Blushed Peach. I did move to this brush here. That is probably the lightest out of the 5 blushes, and I just felt that going to a brush that was just a little bit more dense, you got a little bit more payoff. But these are buildable. They do build really, really beautifully. And depending on the shade, I'm not quite sure whether I like it with it all of the 3 shades together, like on this cheek, or doing it separately, like on this cheek here. Of course, you get that extra highlight if you do it separately, but it looks really beautiful all mixed in together as well. And the shade, I think I used before, the Blush Peach, and that was the Blushed Pink. I did think I probably could have used a more dense brush for that as well. I had to go in a couple of times with this brush, but with a fluffy brush, like I said, you can build it up. But if you want that payoff straight away, just use a brush that is a little bit more dense and you'll definitely get that payoff. But I think these look really beautiful. The sheen that is in there, that pearlescent glow that they talk about, it doesn't emphasize the texture that I have. I think it just gives, like they say, that beautiful lit from within glow, and I think it is really flattering on my mature skin. So like I was saying, I'm not quite sure which shade I prefer. I really like the blushed pink, and I really like the coral as well. That is quite bright, but I just thought it looked really beautiful, and I love this one as well. With this one, I think I prefer it with all the three swiped together. This is a really beautiful shade, but these perform really beautifully. I'm not really surprised. Bobbi Brown do have really lovely products, and the ones that I've purchased over the years haven't disappointed me yet. I think they have really beautiful products. And I think that these blushes keep with the Bobbi Brown brand. They are really just makeup for an everyday type of look. And when it comes to the highlight, you don't get that real wet look with the color. You just get this really beautiful subtle highlight that is really flattering. And I find that with all the Bobbi Brown products that I have purchased so far, I just think they are really, really lovely. So if you are thinking of buying any of their shades, I'm not really sure which one to recommend. It's really just which shade or shades that you would wear in your everyday makeup. But as I was saying, they are really beautiful and they performed lovely as well. So that's it for today's video. I'd love it if you gave it a like, and also if you subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.